Alright, we got a 2016 Nissan Altima here. These years are going to be the same from like 2014 to 2018. Now, the problem I had with this car, when I first got it, the transmission was completely bad, slipping, wouldn't move, wouldn't go anywhere. Okay, so I got another transmission and I get in here and immediately it's like engaging really harshly. When moving from park to drive to reverse, doesn't matter. It's just every time it's engaging really hard enough that it's, you know, bucking the car around. So immediately I'm like, okay, this is a bad transmission. I condemn the transmission, get another one, and have the exact same problem. So oddly enough, on top of the harsh engagements, I had an key system error on the display there, which I didn't really understand that at the time. So yes, I went through a lot of trouble just to find out this TCM was bad, but basically everything else was ruled out, and this wound up being the issue that I had. Now, I got a replacement, and just to show you, when you are getting a replacement, these numbers right here are, hold on one second. Alright, correction. These numbers right here are the ones that you want to absolutely match. This starts right here, 310 F6, and then we end over here, this 11 OM. Those are the ones that you want to match. This down here doesn't matter as much. However, having said that, that's not the only thing that you have to check for. You really need to go to a salvage yard and get one of these, and I'll show you why. So one of the first ones I got, you know, I matched up the part number here, and you can see that that part number matches. However, it did work, and I was able to drive the car no problem, but it wasn't shifting properly, and the reason is because it had, the car that it come from, the donor car, had a different shifter, and you know, I think that one of them was from a totally different car, like an Infiniti, but then I also had tried one from another Altima, and it still didn't work because it had a different shifter. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about checking the shifter. You want to make sure, you know, like with mine, it has this sport shift, and you want to make sure that the donor car you're getting this TCM from is going to match exactly what you have, so you don't have any issues there. So that's what I had to do. I had to actually go to the salvage yard and get a TCM off a car that had this shifter. Now, it wouldn't matter, you know, if it was an 18 or 16, as long as it's off of the same type of car with the same type of shifter like that. So very important. Now, I have a white Altima here. This is a 2018, but it has the same exact shifter as this gray car. So I was able to take this TCM and just verify this, and it drove perfectly fine. So I could swap either one of these and both cars will work fine. Now, I want to point out that I have driven this car over 2,000 miles with this TCM that's in here now, and it is working perfectly fine. And like I said, I've been wanting to make this video, but I wanted to wait, you know, make sure that I've driven this thing. It wasn't going to run into any issues for making this video. Now I want to cover another thing. Like I said, I had harsh engagement, really hard engagements, and the key system error. Now I'm just assuming the key system error was due to a short internally in this TCM. Okay, so I want to talk about another thing while I'm on this. On the white car that I just showed you, I had a really harsh engagement, and it wasn't the TCM. And what you're going to want to check is in here in this, let me see. So you're going to come in here in this fuse panel, and you want to make sure this 10 amp fuse, it's a micro fuse too. It's not just a regular fuse, a little bitty micro fuse. You want to make sure that that 10 amp right there is good, because that 10 amp was bad on the white car, and it was actually kicking much harder than the TCM was on this one. And just to show you what these little micro fuses are going to look like. Okay, so again, I just want to drive this home. You want to match that 310 F6 number down there, and you notice this is the original, and it matches until you get to those last 4 digits down there, and that's like insignificant, but you want to match those. But on top of that, you have to make sure that it has the same type of shifter, otherwise you're just kind of taking a guess. So if you don't match the shifter as well, it is not going to shift properly. Now you can have it programmed, and that's the whole thing that we're trying to avoid by matching the model number and the shifters, having to go and have it programmed by a dealer or elsewhere, and that kind of negates any savings when you're putting a used transmission in, if you're having to spend money towing it here and getting it programmed and all this stuff. Okay, and another question that I get asked a lot, and with the replacing a CVT transmission, of the countless CVT transmissions I have replaced, but people are always asking, do you have to program the TCM? You got to reprogram the TCM. I have never once programmed the TCM. The only thing I've ever done is just reset the learned values, which you can do that simply by, if it's unplugged with the battery for 10 minutes, I think it resets that. And there's some other ways you can do it even without a scan tool, or if you got a scan tool, just go in and reset the learned values. But other than that, have not reprogrammed it. Now, if you get a new TCM, you're going to have to program it. If you get a TCM that doesn't match, like I was talking about, then you're going to have to program it to the car. But as far as programming, because you replaced the TCM with valve body, whatever, I've never done that. So just be aware of that. So as far as getting this TCM out, you have a 10mm nut that's supposed to be down there, and you have one right there, and then this clip right here, you push and flip this up. Now, however, you want to make sure your battery is disconnected before you even think about disconnecting this connector here. So this is some valuable information that I know can help someone else out. However, it's not going to do any good if no one shares the video for others. So if you find this helpful, please share the video. Please like and share. So anyways, I wanted to go over this. I hope I've covered everything. If you have any comments, please leave them below. If you have any questions, criticism, whatever, leave that below as well. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video and found this helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.